Welcome to my first live coding stream. Never done this before. I'm in the middle of a project here, so I'm going to go on and just give a brief description of what's going on with it. I am going to be scraping Google Trends. I already have it where it goes through the Google Trends homepage and scrapes all the names of the countries that you can get trends for. And I also have it go to all those countries' pages and scrape the top trends for the past day. It does that over and over again, just loops through. But I want to go on and grab the search results for those trends, just the top 10 or so. But the trends can be duplicated across different countries, and the search results I get are the same, even if the trend is duplicate. So say this will show me some trends in just a couple seconds. First off, it's grabbing the country's name list, and then it can start processing trends. It dynamically updates the name list every time it runs. So it's looking through Taiwan. Okay. So I can't read any of these, but the name of the trend can be duplicated across multiple countries. So I need to scrape all those trends, what the top 10 search results are, and I want to make sure that when searching those trends, it doesn't go to the same search results more than one time in each loop through. So I need to build a unique queue. And the current queue that I have, on the ES6 promises branch is the trends queue. And here's the basic thing. We are using bool for the queue management. It's a simple Redis backed queue. And we loop through, and after we get a result, we send it to the links messenger, which is actually what's printing out the queue results, or the trend results there. If we look at the index for the scraper, you can see we start out with scanning the countries, setting the countries in the database, and we can scrape the trends for the countries. And then here we have the links queue. So we look at the links messenger from the trends queue, and whenever we get a message there, we just say we received the links with the message data. The message data in this case is all this trend stuff, which is the name of the trend, how many times it's been searched, and what the URI for the Google search results for that trend are. So here we see in Colombia, Rihanna is popular. I'm assuming Rihanna will be popular in other countries as well, so that might be a good example. Beck is of course going to also be popular, as well as the Grammys. So we have some good examples of duplicate trends that will probably be coming through. We just need to figure out a way to check for those. And I think the easiest way to do that is going to be to store what trends we are going to search for, and delete. We created an object where we store the trends we're going to search for, and delete the trends after they have been searched for from that object. So we can always just check the object for if the trend is in there, and if it is, then we won't have to queue it up. We just skip adding it to the queue. Alright, so to get going with that, I'm going to leave the TV on in the background because it helps me think. Or it provides a nice distraction, rather. when I don't know what to do next. If you have any suggestions while I'm streaming this, just go on and enter them into the Twitch chat, and I'll get notified pretty quickly. Yeah, so here we are over in the source code with the trends queue. Okay, so in the message data we get an array of trends.
Please don't get comfortable. We'll be here tomorrow.
Mr. Holmes, did your father tell you about me or not?
You emailed, sent a text, some sort of addict sit up.
And he explained his conditions with respect to his sobriety.
What do you mean his threat to evict me from this, the shoddiest and the least renovated of the five companies? All these years in New York, and yeah, he made his conditions quite clear. Refuse, I wind up on the street. I refuse your quote unquote to help, I wind up on the street. It's my understanding that most of the companies are becoming addicts themselves. You never had a problem with drugs at all.
Your father told me.
Of course he didn't.
You care to explain why you broke out of the rehab sooner than saying they were being released?
Bored.
You were bored.
Well, I am bored right now. Happens often, you get used to it. Regarding our mutual friends at Hemdale, I'd say that you'd be thanking me for exposing flaws in their rubbish security system. Excellent.
There was a woman leaving just as I got here. Did she get you high?
About 6 feet. That's to find sex recurrent. All those fluids and other sounds. My brain and my body require it to function at optimum levels, so I feed them as needed. You're a doctor, you understand.
I'm not.
Well, a doctor. Surgeon, judging by your hands. Is your car parked nearby?
Yes, it's just upstairs. How did you know I had a car?
Parking ticket. Ran in purse when you dropped it. about the other. We need to get going.
I'm in for what?
Actually, scratch car. Manhattan Bridge down a single lane. Get the tube instead. Yuck. Wait for you to tidy it. Prior to my stint in junkie jail, I worked as a consultant at Scotland Yard.
Your father told me you said you were a detective.
I was a consultant. Wasn't paid for my services, therefore I answered to no one but myself.
What about London?
What about it?
You told me that's where you bought it out. I think something happened to you there just as I got back.
Handsome woman, your mother. It's very big of her to take your dad back after the affair.
How could you possibly? You still haven't told me you were going yet.
About that. I think you and father will be pleased to hear I devised a post-rehab regimen for myself that will keep me quite busy. Decided to resume my work as a consultant here in New York. Tell me, how do guys typically introduce you? I mean, I find it hard to believe you could actually tell someone you've been signing for 5 hope a month.
Well, you and I have what's known as competitive crime. Friend, but we don't like to get out there. But to be honest, most friends just call me competitive.
Captain Gregson.
Holmes.
Swanson. Captain Gregson. Captain Gregson. It's Miss Watson, my personal valet.
How do you do? She waits up.
I'm afraid she's quite crucial to my process, Captain.
It's okay.
Actually, it isn't. At least, according to my father's email. Well, he explained it's the job of a proper valet to accompany his or her charge to their place of business. But consider this my place of business. See every wretched hive of depravity and murder in this city my place of business. Unless, of course, you don't even have a stomach for the work.
Dr. Richard Matlow came home a few hours ago to find his door has been right. Then you do so. What's it? He's a head shaker at Sandwich Hospital. Says he caught an emergency last night. Saw the front door. First officers on the scene found signs of struggle, kitchen, and the investigation. But no mistake.
Find something more?
What is it?
I'm not sure. His daddy's cell phone. He recovered it.
We have our cell phone. Thank you, detective.
She either lost a tremendous amount of weight or underwent significant plastic surgery. Something
All
like
right, we
last
see
year.
we're getting the link scrapes now.
Ovular frames are older.
Waiting to see if see that we get one that is a duplicate.
Coincidence? No. Check her cell phone. No photos of her older than 2 years. Countless pictures of other people. 5 years ago.
Did you two work together before?
10 years ago, 2 months after Mayor Wagner was assigned to Scotland Yard to observe the counterterrorism bureau, Holmes mostly worked homicides, but our past still crossed our minds.
Captain, if you please.
HSBC is already
Stand here, view her attacker. She lived in the houses.
okay. So that was in Romania and Russia. That makes sense to me. That HSBC would be at both of those.
Yes.
Nah, if that's something you do, some nut job comes in and kicks your door in. You ask him if he's thirsty.
one thing that's a problem is since we have a Redis queue. Wait, no. Yeah, that is going to be a problem. We need to store that stuff in the in a database of some sort, as well as.
Lab tests, I'm certain, I think that it's the victim's blood. I believe them that they're after the assault had already taken place. As Dampier left the man because he was fully prepared. He kicked the door in as he exited.
In the Redis queue. It needs to be in both so that they will be synchronized. I'm thinking I would prefer to just keep that object and load it up at the very beginning. This currently queued trends object. I'm just going to use level DB to store just that object. I'll version that data, and I'm just going to grab the latest version of that object when the program starts up, and on process exit, I'm going to store it. No, that won't be good until I'll only store it on process exit.
What is it? Why is it so important to keep out particular inbox?
Kidnappers don't take trophies, killers do. There's no body, there's no blood. And the front
Because
it's rather difficult to read any buttons someone can't tell
there could be a condition where the server just loses power or something like that, or has a catastrophic failure.
But as you can see,
And in that case, in that case, things would just get queued twice, which isn't so bad.
what's safety?
One behind that wall. Husband didn't say anything about this safe. Slight angle from the floor.
The extra weight of the safe from steel reinforcements can cause the floor around it to decline slightly, creating a slope between 1 and 5 degrees.
Log the currently queued trends there, and the length here.
The last time I loved my wife, I didn't hurt her, and before this moment, I had no idea there was any safe room in my house.
You realize how first
The place was gutted before Amy and I moved in 2 years ago. She oversaw all the construction.
I'm sorry. Are you saying she had it installed but never told you?
What do you do? Guess things.
Oh, you can't get the length. It's not an array.
once I've observed it,
Taking in things that are supposed to.
and something also that's one kind of instance. The new surgeons as well use a business community buildings for multi-hydrating principle education. And I've seen that it's in their own mind being that one become companion. They do a dictionary of something close to it. And using the word their energy to make drastic changes. What else?
What you found?
What else?
How did you know you felt?
Google. But not everything is deducible.
I guess once again to help him out. God is our guy, and we're grateful. We could take it from him. Respectfully, Detective, I doubt that very much, because I have reason to believe that Richard Melville didn't kill his wife. Wait, come again?
Dr. Mandler has girls' feet. Haven't you noticed? It's a size 8, it's an inch. The blueprint on his front door was an 11.
So he was smart. He knew a bigger shoe to throw us off.
And did he also wear bigger hands when he strangled his wife? Oh. Well, these strangulation marks, no, much larger. No. Not just heavier, but taller. I'd estimate his height to be somewhere between 6'1", 6'3". Your enemy will come to the same conclusion in a couple of hours. Unbelievable. You're a doctor. Tell him I'm right. Were a doctor.
What is going on with HSBC?
Yeah, sure. These guys do something smoking. Who's all
What
about?
permission, Captain? I'd like a moment alone, Doctor. About 2 minutes. Tall man in your life, I'd like a list.
Amy was a good person, but if you're here because you think I had something to do with it,
Dr. Manberg said that you'd made a pass at her at a holiday party last year.
actually, no, I didn't. I asked her about all the plastic surgery she did.
Plastic surgery?
Okay, look, I helped plan a fundraiser for the hospital 2 years ago for the surgeons. I know I still have the pictures. There.
No duplets have come up yet.
That's a picture of Amy and Dr. Manlow that I took her. Okay? Tell me you wouldn't want to answer the question.
Tell me about the stalking charge brought against you 2 years ago.
I asked my neighbor out. She overreacted.
Mr. Porter, can you tell us where you were last night?
It's home. Alone. I know, not much of an alibi, but I don't care. Because I didn't do it.
We've got okay.
Did you know that Harley was looking for this sooner?
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Writing a book. Practical handbook of food culture, its observations on segregation.
I'll come back to the problem of synchronizing this to disk. It doesn't bother me too much to run this twice at the moment. To run queries twice. It's better to scan a link twice rather than only once. And I'm not planning on getting into the database today, so here we go. How did this get done before?
I know my father secured your services for 6 weeks. Simple truth is, I don't need you. Finish this house. I won't be using you. My advice? Take a 6-week holiday. Promise I won't travel far.
This is actually going to add it to the links queue.
I mean, you just survived an hour.
10:37. Take back everything I said. You obviously love your job. Wait to get started.
I mean, that's what it's all about. You all of you and strip on the competition.
I have a theory about our killer. I think he may have struck at least once before. Why? Another. Like a ball. I couldn't stop thinking about the ring box he stole from him down his name.
So there's such a trophy.
Clean this up.
See, so it means like a friendship between victims. It occurred to me that we've only looked at our case first, there may be other cases in common. Eileen Renfrew. Savagely beaten and strangled by an intruder in her brownstone 2 years ago. He took a jewelry box from his pocket, left behind a size 11 footprint.
Congratulations.
Especially strong with physical similarities between her and Amy. Both were curvaceous with long red hair.
I think the killer's a type.
The one significant difference in the cases? I don't know for a second.
have in the police report that the man was assaulted in the news. That doesn't mean you can't help us identify. Did he say anything to you?
No. I came in through the front door and he was just like,
Did he have a particular scent?
so,
Was he tall, short, somewhere in between?
Okay, so this should let us
his hands were down my throat.
get some errors
What about it?
from trying to run this queue.
Mexican wrestling, paper plate.
Ski.
Excellent. So, you've got a good look at his eyes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a strangler can literally not be more than an arm's length from the strangler. And that's what
Can't have that semicolon there. It's in an object.
Please make my key.
Why? Because you don't want him.
Mr. Holmes.
Before that crucifix full of just read a book, would you? She can see her his face. I think she might even know who he is. You realise that because you protected him 2 months ago, you put the blood up in the innocent woman. Perhaps you might take it for 2 and 3 and 4.
That's enough. You don't have to wait in the car.
The name of the man in the chapter is Peter Saldura. He was my brother's best friend growing up. His father was abusive, so my parents took him away seeing movies. I didn't hear from my brother that he works for Los Angeles.
That's not really around there. You can't have a fence. You can't have a fence. She might very well have anything.
He was so full of it.
Captain Gregson, Sherlock Holmes. I'm calling because I believe I've uncovered the name of the strong suspect in the murder of Amy Granger.
The name wouldn't be Peter Saldura by any chance, would it?
How did you know? Are you saying he's in police custody?
Technically, yeah.
Now something's wrong here. It should be logging queuing link scrape.
One man shot a body through the window. That was 911. So we thought someone else rather killed himself. They thought he was right. The gun was still in Saldura's hand when we got arrested the last day. We found the ring box and then we did his home over here.
Let me go back a little ways. Make sure that it's actually logging that there. Could be using this name trend. It's causing some troubles.
That was a nut bar.
Did you already take his phone?
Hasn't told me yet.
Thanks, Arduino guy. I think it's going to be fun. Looking forward to getting this back-end stuff worked out and getting into writing the visualizations on the front end. I think that's when it's going to finally feel like it's doing something useful. Okay, it's queuing link scrapes there.
What do I do for credit?
I think it was changing this trend name. Must have broken stuff. Exactly. And I find out what's censored and where.
In her surgery, she told her neck to huge food. None of her picture used to be.
Look at those photographs.
I reached out to Lady's friends right after this. Harrison Holt was right. She was as beautiful before her surgery as she was afterwards. How on,
Another thing. Saldura's phone records indicate he used his cell phone constantly. And then 3 days ago, he just stopped. Didn't make a single call, didn't send a single text. Why? His bank statements, meanwhile, there's several checks made out to Dr. Roland Jessup, psychologist.
he seems worth a talking to, right? Huh?
No, because he dropped out of the coroner in 2010.
The Amy Danby case is over. You have to solve it.
No, it's on Jack. What's that?
I got a Censor Scan today. Celebrate. When my father hired me, he mentioned something about you helping me sign it.
I was an Yvonne McCarver once when I was 9. Now I'm a buff.
Yeah, I'm worried about you. I think you make things more complicated than they really are. Like, I know that you're struggling.
I don't struggle with anything. I haven't been paying attention over the last few days. Been right about everything.
Actually, you haven't. The day we met, you refused to give up the surgery. I knew because that's first. The truth is,
Truth is that you made a mistake during the surgery that cost the patient his life. It takes years of study to become a surgeon, not to mention tremendous ego. Surgeons don't just leave to become addicts if they're forced out, and they're only forced out if they commit the sin of malpractice. You knew it would be a sore subject, so I made up a bit about dentists. Spare you 3 minutes.
I really don't know why that's not.
how do you make a patient die?
Showing everything up.
Whether it's going to be paralyzed or in a coma.
The parking ticket, the one you had in your purse. It was...
You incurred it 2 weeks ago near the corner of 86 and 3rd. The only thing there is a
Okay.
cover cemetery. Obviously, you've been visiting the grave. On the parents' grave, of course, we will indicate that they're both alive and well. Siblings? No. Carver is a pauper's field. The picture that we keep on the phone among bats is that they are well to do. No sibling rules will tell in a case like that. This isn't even the proper parking area, hence the ticket. So, the surgeon was no longer a surgeon. A parking violation even outside a poor man's cemetery, and 2 points right, mind as they are.
Let it all up. What is it?
You were visiting the grave of the man that you let die. No.
It's incredible. The way that you can solve people just by looking at them. I know that you don't have any years, Malcolm.
What's that supposed to mean?
Because I think you know what's caused me to see them. Tomorrow I'll wish for you to
So it's
have-
undefined, so it should be going through this. Oh wait. Wait, no, that's right.
You're dead strength, and I'm right dead strength. You can, thank you.
I don't think that's gonna work, but
Everything got almost 2
why not?
years. The girl had all her stuff in storage.
Why not give it a try anyway?
We take a look.
According to this idea I've told you about attack on Indonesia. Got an obsession with red-haired women and tendency towards violence.
What's up?
Mr. Selwyn, now obsessed with his own recovery, has taken to recording our sessions with his phone so he can listen to them again and again. Is the phone turned up yet?
No. Sorry, I couldn't watch. Listen.
Ah, this might not be in the Twitch chat, so here's the link to the source code.
He felt rage.
Yeah, that did not work.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Suddenly I felt rage. And he had some measure of control. Shall I speak up? He had some measure of control without everything. Why? Exactly. Exactly. I know you're right.
quick, Prince Charles. It was just on my way out.
Pills off at something's desk and I'm straight into it. It's easy for me.
Now what?
Pills and slime shooting. Went and probably they're not already around.
Who's your name?
Okay.
Right, I know. I've never got I mean, that's not. I have no idea she was supposed to be. She did. Just a little bit. I was embarrassed. Now I can the truth. Some other way. Of course. You got me there first.
I don't know if those lines are actually doing anything.
You repeat the sound of us last there. It's fine. Started treating him, what, 18 months ago? Probably just a few weeks before he told wife and all that plastic surgery.
Okay,
Santoro wanted to fix himself.
got
Jessup was his first attempt. You were a second. Discovered a like that.
phantom crash. That's a good thing to have now.
Man with a wife he wanted
Okay.
dead. Stumbling across him. Man with an obsessive personality and a history of violence. And the problem was, of course, Amy didn't
That
trust him to
means
go
that our get stories for trend is not accepting that URI payload option properly.
The guilt vial from Sandra's home came from you. Sample from the hospital, no doubt. Almost impossible to trace.
Scrape.
Tranquilizer, but it wasn't, was it? Still
Options.
steroid. We're whipping you into a killing frenzy.
We are expecting just a simple
Violent. More likely to give in to his terrible concussions.
URI as the whole option, so
Bollocks.
oh no, we can't use options, payload, options.
Took advantage of his job as a delivery man to place in the neighbour's audit. We arranged for flowers to be sent to the house once a week. She needed him to see her, needed him to become obsessed with her. You loaded him with the letter.
Welcome back.
When you pointed him squarely at the orange.
You're insane.
Now he was insane, Doctor. He took advantage. And then after you murdered him, made it look like a suicide, you took his phone. Why? Well, because...
Let's see what happens now. Yep, the links queue is now getting some items in it. Let's see.
Mr. Holmes, man knows how it is. He's very well with us. He knows that during the course of their relationship, he signed a pre-nuptial agreement that gives him nothing if he leaves her.
It's going pretty well. I'm making a little progress.
She dies.
Um,
Hypothetically, wouldn't that man be smarter to look for a way to trigger the causes in the second document as opposed to the first?
links queue processing. Okay, get news. Okay. So apparently those all came through.
What do you say?
He said, "Did you do it?"
We have to tell the police.
Fair point.
Includes the payload is there. I'm going to
Why?
Keys!
turn on wait, let me look at the links queue here.
Yes. Better.
And let's log the result. Let's see if it's actually getting anything from the links queue. It's moving really quickly, so I kind of doubt it was.
Not just be calm. The way I spoke to you earlier. I only got good patient suicide.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Soon.
Yeah, it should not have cleared out that links queue that quite that fast. Okay, so we're not getting any results from the link scan. I'm going to turn on some screenshots in the scraper module just so we can kind of see what phantomjs is up to. Okay, yeah, we'll write that and restart. There may be some phantomjs processes that should not be running, that are just kind of improperly exited child processes in here. Next time I shut the server down, I'll look and see. Hey Dirk, okay, I'll go through the setup here. I'm using Arch Linux, Vim for my editor, run in ST terminal with tmux as the multiplexer so that I can have multiple terminal windows open. I'm using io.js instead of Node.js because I wanted to try out some ES6, ES6 language features. And for streaming, I have OBS running right here. And desktop environment is i3. So it's a tiling window manager that gives me quick access to more terminals and chat from twitch.tv. I've signed on as with WeChat for my IRC program, and I set it up to notify me anytime anybody talks in the chat window. I find that's pretty good feedback. Okay, yeah, so here it is definitely pulling up the trending searches for South Korea as an example. I might not be getting, so I definitely need to debug that scraper script and see why it's not returning the proper values.
Now, if that's it, I am late. It's active.
Anytime, Dirk. I'll try to write that stuff out at some point. I can go on and point you at my what do you call them? My dot files if you'd like to see.
As I was saying, Miss Watson noticed Saldura's allergy to rice. You can imagine her confusion when she remembered seeing the sackets.
Oh, you can copy my config if you'd like.
Odd, right? Going to the store and buying the one thing he's allergic to. Odder still, it was the same day he stopped using his cell phone. First, he thought it was by choice. Then I remembered the overturned washing machine.
What does a bag of rice and an overturned washing machine have to do with anything?
I was wrong the other day. When I accused him of taking Saldura's phone after the murder, we wanted to take it. We couldn't reach it. We couldn't find it. We laundered it, you see. Better than
in his pocket when he put his trousers in the watch. By the time he realised it was too late, the phone that he turned into a virtual library of his therapy sessions was no longer functioning. Furious with himself and suffering the effects of what he couldn't possibly have known was a steroid intoxication, he destroyed the washer in a fit of rage. He went to his grocer's and purchased a bag of rice. Rice is your apparent
Turn the phantomjs console reporting on temporarily to make sure it's coming in. Should see this loading page console log, which gets run within phantomjs. Make it into this log down here. Yeah, I love Xmonad. I just have never been able to understand how to program in Haskell, so... Or, wait, I'm confused. I might be confused if Xmonad's Erlang or Haskell. Well, I've never understood programming in Erlang either, so...
Quite familiar with the American pastime, whether I had some hamburger off a gallon in common, or some matches on the table.
Matches. The games.
Truth be told, I find the science of sport quite fascinating, all of the statistical analysis, all of
Yeah, I'll do a rundown of how I set up the streaming. Maybe that would be a good choice, or a good topic for a quick live stream one day.
Yeah, right, let's try it.
Alright, see you in a bit. I'll have to give it another try, particularly if I find the time to try out Haskell. I've been really wanting to. I think what it is I am still using Q here. Oh, I don't have it returning anything at all. Okay, so let me look at how I did this for the latest trends. Yep, return new promise. And then run Phantom Scraper and resolve with, yeah, since Phantom Scraper does return a promise, then I can resolve with the data that I need to pass back to the next step. Okay. Ah.
What do you put yourself in a trap
word, as you may have guessed, is amygdala.
So you hypnotized yourself at your first group support meeting.
Couldn't listen to all those sob stories now, could I?
That's the whole point. And, when you feel comfortable, you can share.
Lived with me a week now, Watson. You know I don't share.
Well, then why can't you listen?
Attic theory. I've always believed the human brain is like an attic, storage space for facts. But because that space is finite, it must be filled only with the things one needs to be the best version of oneself. It's important, therefore, not to have useless facts. The naturalness that comprise a typical sport group meeting, for example, crowding out useful
And this should start logging some stuff.
high qualities. Your brain. Useful facts. Useful. Viscous. Oval. Natterings.
I'm gonna let that run, and I'm gonna get some more coffee too.
How my brain runs.
Okay, more natterings. I am going to dinner tonight with a friend, but I will be back before 10, so I'll be there at
2
8.
whole hours. By my lonesome, aren't you worried I'll go on some sort of binge?
Well, when you stretch us apart, or actually not.
Natural progression in our companionship, yes, you mentioned.
But just to be safe, I will be giving you a drug test when I get home.
Captain Gregson. How may I be of assistance?
Next case of advance, walked through the front door tonight, took one right between the eyes. Cousin's on the job, controlling the sites for 116 Queens. That's why I called you. But I'm my best guys on this.
Said I'm trying to do it in the burger.
Did. His wallet and lunch up along the doors across the two. Victim probably saw the person when he came in from home.
Holmes, Miss Watson, you Detective Bell, another one of my best guys. He's running the point on the case. Good one. Salt, right? I heard good things.
Of course he did.
Who's he? Neighbor, across the hall. He's the one who saw the body and called 911.
Why must you continue to act like you've never seen a dead body before? You were a surgeon and went to medical school. Surely you worked on cadavers.
Right, because that's exactly the same thing.
Detective Bell. You would classify this as a robbery homicide, would you not?
Yeah.
You would be wrong. It's a robbery and a homicide. Ampersand, not dash. There are two separate crimes committed by two separate perpetrators. The trajectory of the bullet that killed Mr. McManus traces back to this chair. The killer was seated when she pulled the trigger.
She?
I can smell tea blossom around deodorant on the leather. Ladies, deodorant. The woman sat here quite recently. None of your people, of course. This is like a crime scene. No new captain may know better. That was the shooting.
Go on.
Second crime, robbery, was committed by a man. Very strong man. Judging by the items he removed from the apartment.
You know, how strong's a guy have to be to steal a wallet and a watch?
You're forgetting the armoire. Dust patterns on the wall and the floor tell us it stood here. It has these scratches on the floor. You're nuts.
Okay, this is not working right. Let's see how many phantomjs processes I'm
It's a
running
very
now.
heavy piece of furniture, that. And this building has no elevator. Are we to suppose that a thief got it down 6 flights of stairs? Or prison, right?
I got some coffee too.
Get scratches
That
on
was
the
a good
floor.
call.
It was dragged to the tiled hallway. Makes me think we never left this floor. What do you think? Yeah, thought so. Across the hall, you said? You can't go in there. You need a warrant. It's one of the main reasons I'm not.
That's not quite. It's not running too many phantomjs processes at the moment. Well, it's running too many, but not too many.
He's a killer.
I'm gonna shut it down and see how many are running now. Okay, that's actually kind of great. It's not, they're not remaining running after, well, something is running.
Casey was already dead when I found him. I know I should have called the cops first, but things have been so bad. You know, I just freaking crime things. The men are morons in there too. Two of them at least. But I never laid a finger on him.
Okay, OBS is using up most of the CPU, so I guess that's to be expected.
Wrong. What's wrong? I'm sorry, I don't think I could have been much clearer. There were 2 crimes, 2 perpetrators. This guy had all the victims.
Right now, it's about 10:30 in the morning for me.
I suspect the GSR test your people performed will show that he hasn't fired on his leg. Also, he isn't wearing any deodorant, let alone maybe his T-box, and I haven't even noticed. You're the only one who can smell anything on that. But yeah, right, I'm glad you brought that up. If per Detective Bell's theory, the burglar was startled by the victim's unexpected return, but I'm just curious time to take a load off, no? No, sure.
I hold down the Windows key, it'll tell me the time.
Is really like this? I mean, back in the evenings, talking
I'm more worried about running too many processes and overheating the CPU than I am about the time when I'm working.
Yeah. Neighbor just woke up to the shit. Says he wants to know. Smart man. He's also seen.
I'm really surprised how low the temperature is for the CPU, considering how overloaded it is. It's got 4 cores and holding steady at trying to use 7 over the past 5 minutes. So, Esquire 2 official? Is that a good name for you? Have you been up all night? Or are you just waking up really early?
Friends that you're meeting. When's the last time you slept? I'll be at the next level. You'll wait to avoid gender and can't talk about it. You're very well with the friend. Now I know it's not a current lover. The walk speaks volumes.
I walk.
Study in Belgium showed that a woman's use of orgasm history can be discerned from her gait speed. It also indicates something wild.
Is it sad being wrong on something's not right?
My advice, seek wonders for your need.
No, I hate it. Sorry, I
Please. No one is to be apologizing. I wouldn't have to restrict your voice.
It's true. Do you keep me busy?
But people in cases form all other sort of stuff. Well, how about you? You just started with a client last week, right? How you doing?
Oh, great.
So, what is she? Alcoholic? Addict? Both?
You want to talk about my clients, right?
Right. I know we're not together anymore, but I still worry about it. Because I'm not the only one who's working.
Oh my god.
trying to speak to them, so
They're confused. Joe used to be a soldier when he babysit drug addicts.
Okay, the links queue processor is processing a bit too quickly.
I'm actually good at it. I don't know why that's so hard to understand.
I think that's why we're getting so many Phantom processes running.
Can you make coffee?
Thank you.
Right here. Thank you.
You take my advice, I see. Sleep with your ex.
What are you working on?
Casey McManus's preliminary autopsy report came in a little while ago. Went through some particulars.
But there's only one particular gunshot wound in the head.
Victim also suffered from endothelial corneal dystrophy.
It's a brain clouding of the cornea. That's a genetic disorder.
I gotta say, everybody, thanks for coming into the channel. It's
Not.
helping me focus to have a little audience to code in front of.
Gregson?
He's married, I'm afraid.
You're fine. I was talking to him the other night, and I wanted to know why you didn't tell her where you were the last 6 months. You said you called me from Pico 10 days ago, but I know for a fact that you were in Newcastle.
You're a highly decorated investigator, and you are a recovering drug addict that was sensitive
Well, I'm not saying
I can help you, but only if you let me. Telling him would be a
Flush the
violation of my
database.
privilege, I could sue.
I'm using
I'm not going to tell him anything.
the terminal with tmux, and then I have a terminal window with Vim right here, and a terminal window where I'm running the server right here, and then the database that I'm using. The Redis database console is right here.
You were in the neighbour saw leaving Casey McManus's apartment. I assume you already got one. Dark man, it's approximately 5 foot 4. I can break it now. You get into that. First time I'll tell you how I got here.
For some reason, I'm not getting this result back. Let me double check that the stories are returning something.
I slipped a picture into a photo array for the neighbor who picked it out right away. He said, and I quote, "There's no doubt about it. This was the girl we saw on the stairs last night."
Are you going to make a guest specialist? Or are you going to show me?
I'm going to show you. Mr. Owen, Miss Watson, what else? Tried to kill herself 3 days ago. Bob sleeping pills with Bob Crocker. My buddy was on the scene when the paramedics took her away. She's been in a coma for this.
I'd like to learn Emacs, but Vim has just always seemed a lot simpler to me.
And then I think we're the only people in the city who know couldn't just kill Casey McManus last night. So thanks for the consultation. But I think I'll take it.
So Detective Bell is right. This is such a big...
Hey, Matt! Close your eyes. Don't necessarily There's people also in the evidence. There's a crime scene.
Okay.
What's the first language?
What for?
Going to stab it into the softest part of Miss Allison's thigh. That's murder. There, no one can take away from that.
If you wanted to know if she was really in a coma, all you had to do is ask.
That's okay. I can't stab her in the thigh.
It's a test for coma. When the patient's hand is released directly above the face,
Okay,
you strike the
looks
face
like this
off.
stories is getting returned too quickly, maybe.
Yeah, well, respiration and pupillary response aren't, and hers are consistent with the patient in the coma for free. The coma is real. She didn't come out on this side.
Can I help you? Your patient.
Yes.
How can I not respond to you?
Yep, server-side JS. Let me post the link again.
Bell found the right face, but the wrong girl. There's a book on it, man's there.
Alright, let's see. Let's go back to
Description on the inside cover.
brief description of the project.
On your fifth birthday. Your fifth birthday. The birthday we both shared. Beckhouse Queen.
That's Rebecca Allison, the only children of Charles Allison, who died several months ago.
Oh, I haven't seen Dev Wars.
Shipping magnate. Passed the millionaire. Two parts of the school named
I'm
after
gonna have to subscribe to that.
this. Rebecca has run the family's charitable trust for years.
Yes, say you're getting the hang of that principles.
Excuse me. You point us in the direction of Rebecca Allison.
Oh, fun.
She has dark hair, brown eyes, freckles.
Yep, ES6 is the newest JavaScript. It's finally at a it's finally formalized. So it's still not completely what do you call it? Available in all the browsers. Let's see if we go to io.js, which is just the ES6 fork of Node.
Obviously, Ben Allison didn't showcase in advance. Given that his name will pick her out of the photo array, it stands to reason that the real killer bears a striking resemblance. The question is, the issue, what does she have against this?
See, I thought there was a ES6 compatibility. I'll put this in the chat.
So I used to play with them.
So the only things I'm really using in ES6 right now are promises. Where are those?
I don't blame him. Attic theory, playing took up too much space in my brain.
Yeah, the promise.
Part Buck 78 boyfriend.
And I wish the top of this chart stayed there. But you can see latest Chrome does handle promises. It's got pretty good support across the board as far as Firefox, Chrome, IEs. How are they doing with promises? IE does not have promises yet, but the polyfills over here that you can use to compile your ES6 to work in ES5 browsers will take care of that if I need to. But if you look over here at the payload that I'm sending to the phantomjs page, it doesn't really run any ES6 stuff. And that might be the problem here. I'm not sure if phantomjs can handle promises.
I'm big enough to remember my mom coming in the line after Node once. Shoulda was seated ago. Right?
Not the same deodorant, that's not the first thing.
Yeah, let's see, there's phantomjs. It's running WebKit. I don't see. Oh, is this WebKit?
What's over?
Yeah, there's WebKit. No, I can't see promises.
Tell them we got two victims with no discernible length, or should I?
Actually, Captain, the
Okay,
lady is quite
that
discernible.
might be.
Both victims suffer from the same rare genetic disorder, crowding at the corners.
Maybe I can pull up just the WebKit page. There, that's much better.
You tell me they don't look at least bits familiar.
Promises.
Listen to McManus and this will modern link. Involving system.
Yep, WebKit can handle promises, so
Drew? Drew?
Yes, sir?
I'm going to the post office. Would you listen to the phone to see if the plumber calls?
I'll listen for the plumber.
What?
I'll listen for the phone.
You'll listen for him?
Yes, sir.
According to interviews with the friends and family members, neither of you knew one existed. Basic advances mom had him on a wedlock. She never told him who his real dad was. Ditto for Anna Webster.
Ooh, Aurelia, that sounds exciting.
I didn't find Dad, and I guess because I didn't find her. Surely the victim's mother's been up on that front.
Casey's mom died in life. So Webster's died of cancer 2008. Neither talking to anyone.
Just on this, Webster filed a complaint a few weeks ago about a gas supply was found. Parked outside the home and went to snap.
Oh, that's really nice.
The age is right.
I'm looking at the Angular 2 code I've seen in the wild. It's
Right on this one.
Angular doesn't look like it's going to be that great. Too much of a domain-specific language for me. I really like the way JavaScript is progressing. I wish phantomjs could support ES6 promises.
We were hoping you would tell us why you were throwing this war. Let me see if you can come up. Mike.
Let's see what's going on in here.
Just one of my first clients. Like, this store got filled. Plus, I know, I saw it on the news and I think it stinks. And it seemed like a big deal. Excuse me, sorry, could you just, excuse me, would you mind just telling me a little bit more about this beautiful plant? You work with it very nice, I can tell by it. You know what else I can tell? It's methamphetamines. You drink excessively with eyes gone. You also look great in your plate. Over the last few months, even more advances for both music. In fact, you imported this stuff to drink. You know, bastard, and that's when you put your stashes on your ice and you get crashed. Tell us what you want to know. I want to in front of Captain Gibson and Detective. Also, when you're ready, I'm back on track. And the rehabilitation facility is very strong as well. Yeah. Time we go. Since you and I go back a ways, take this file and put it on the desk. I'm gonna look at the head. You know, whatever happens in here, oh well. Happens. Usually. Yeah, sure. Casey McManus and Anna Webster hired your lawyers to investigate a couple months ago. Because discovered that Casey and Anna were your half siblings. Your father Charles, a successful businessman as he was the potent philanderer, sired them out of wedlock decades ago. Paid off their mothers to keep them quiet. Told you and the rest of their existence on his deathbed. Now they're both dead.
Not getting the console logs from Phantom.
You know that Charles left his fortune to you and He failed to include language in his will that would exclude the bastard children from being claimed to their share. That made them pretermitted heirs in the eyes of the law. If they ever discovered their father's true identity, they would sue for a piece of his considerable estate, potentially reducing you and your sister's inheritance by as much as 2/3. That's why
I know it's loading up the proper URI.
That's why I believe.
Didn't come for your whereabouts the last 2 nights between the hours of
alone. I was alone.
Maybe it sounds like he's back to fish.
No. You're right about that. He did tell me and my sister about Casey and Anna right before he died. And yes, we knew they would like them to at least part of it. It was very difficult for us. We were very angry. Couldn't believe he would keep something like that from us, but he was very sick and after he died, we went back and forth about what we should do. Neither of us wanted to have to keep the secret, but to give tens of millions of dollars to virtual strangers seemed insane. That's why we reached out to his attorneys. We wanted them to look into Casey and Anna so we could have all the facts at our disposal.
What are they looking for? How long am I waiting to go home?
No, nothing like that. We just wanted to know what kind of people. Then we thought we could make a sort of decision without getting into a task force. I started seeing her married man, started drinking, and then she tried to kill herself.
Suicide. I'm starting to wonder if that's what that really was. I have to assume that with the vet after what he did with her, you know, brought on its entirety. I'm surprised you know you found some way to compel her to take these pills.
I would never hurt my sister.
Jealousy?
It's running through that way too fast.
Why disguise yourself as a vet? Committing murders. The witness saw you at the first scene. He described your sister to a T. I know that you're a fraternal twin.
How does this compare to
They're more than a passing resemblance. The question is,
another
why did you want
scraper?
to? What was the point of trying to frame a woman in a cover up? But you even put on her deodorant. Master stroke when you think about it.
Yes. Sure that will help. Ty, what are you doing here?
Remember, 76?
I didn't see anything. How did you even find this place?
You know, some of the friends having a dinner party. I surprised. Such a pleasure. James told me so little about you.
You hacked that email?
Hack is such a lovely word. Bill, what's going on? There's only one time to swallow. Not sure about this one. The party foul. Let's.
This was a mistake.
Yeah, I don't understand. Who's the
He's like, oh, you're here to mess with me.
It's a boyfriend.
No. Wow. Oh, not even close. You know what? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Okay?
How about that drinks with the DA for this? Pretty friends up here in Slugger. How's he going? Where's some of my stuff?
Invading my privacy, not okay.
Could be walking, talking professional invasion of privacy.
I am here to work. I thought you needed to get that.
I'm sorry, it wasn't you who said we're supposed to be learning more about each other. That's how companionship works, is it not?
Is this because of the violin first tonight? Because I think we need to put it and set it on fire.
I haven't made my point unless you've absorbed it. Friendship is not a requirement of cohabitation. I'll keep my secrets, you keep yours. Provided I still serve your
That
clients.
could have
Go
been
our
it.
separate ways.
I don't know that that was in there before. I think that was a new error.
What?
Searches for a home and business to return to Ashley. And the security cameras at her apartment confirmed she lives there. I'm using it just like she said she was.
Yeah, it's before 7 o'clock, right? That doesn't look for the next one.
Still firing those off too fast. Everything looks good on the get latest trends payload. So perhaps my problem is here. No, it shouldn't be calling done until it's returned. Okay, it's almost certainly something in. Okay, I did take out the return statement in the payload, so that's going to stop it from return. Data. One thing that's different is I would pass some options here. So
What we do need to trust each other. Tell me what's going on, and I will try and help you. Don't, and I will be fixed.
I'm going to pass those. Maybe that'll make it behave better.
Right now, nurse! The surveillance cameras in your building, the ones that support your so-called alibi, you tampered with them somehow. What's going on in here? I'm on to you, Mrs. Matter of fact, I'm way ahead of you. I know all about the third victim of the dare. What? Daddy's third bastard. I figured out who she is. Mary Margaret Phelps, 8033 West Tremont, Morris Heights. Don't pretend like you don't already know. You're not that good a match. Hard. Back away.
When I couldn't talk you out of coming, I texted you.
Yes, that's right. The opposite of hell. Thank you. You know what? Doesn't matter. Because as of tonight, Mary Margaret has her own personal body. Me, I'll be watching her 24/7. I won't let you anywhere near. That's enough. Get out! Okay. That's it. Come on. You just assaulted a police officer, which means you get to spend the night in jail. Let's go. Never seen the last of me in this house, not by a long shot. I will not let you hurt me. Do you understand me? I will not let you hurt me. Let's go.
Put the gun down, Miss Erickson. Or do this first.
TV.
Wasn't regular common, was medically induced. At the back. He clearly blocked it out. I don't understand. Why would he?
Because he was the married man when she was having her. Obviously, she never introduced. It's also part of her father's illegitimate children. I met him the other day. I noticed
he'd stop wearing his wedding band. Thinking it was another moment, but then at a gathering I attended this evening, I heard the story of a woman who seduced her doctor to take advantage of his medical expertise. It got me thinking about you and your sister's predicament. Two heiresses learn of the existence of two half-siblings days before they're set to receive their rather massive inheritance. One has a big heart, the other, big heart, wants to share. To know these people, love them as family, share with them her many blessings. Little heart would rather see them live. Problem is, she knows that only she and one other person, her sister, are motives to kill. She also knows that this most important one would easily be traced back to her. So what is she? She finds herself an alibi with one big crunch. She enlists the help of someone with the knowledge and the expertise to not only help her stage a suicide attempt, but ease her into a coma.
This doctor was arrested a while ago. He confessed to giving her perpetuals to keep her unconscious. Not only to trick the machines that monitor her, but also anyone who might examine her.
Well, was it perfect? Of course. Between the drugs and the atrophied muscles, she was quite weak. That's why she was seated as you shot Casey. Even though it was too difficult to say.
I never told him that I wanted to share them, and that didn't. How did you know?
No, that's what she did for the
You know, if there had anybody in his house who would be concerned. Is she okay?
She's fine. Didn't know that she had existed. I never did.
We saw him in the hospital.
I made a commotion to draw Yvette's doctor in. I announced the name and address of the heir, Mary Margaret Phelps, 8033 Western Month, so that we have her. I then assaulted Detective Fallon, so the good doctor would think that I, the only apparent threat to his Yvette's plan, was in jail for him. But I am a very crucial window of opportunity. We took it. Because even though neither of them had been home before they were 14, I think as for the woman, Yvette trailed to her home. She's an officer.
Very Chinese. And what she did was unforgivable, but she was still my sister.
There were only two hidden identities. The predictable, the second one was to tell. Why was she spending her time together? Where did she miraculously wake up this morning? Who did she have left to kill? Do you think perhaps it was someone who stood between her and the entirety of the family? That big heart of the sunset. It could be lonely.
Take it off?
This place is neat.
It is. Well, you should come join us for a drink sometime. Shut up a little. Fine.
I'm on the road. That said, I appreciate it.
What do you say? Drinks? About an hour.
No, it's all right.
All right.
All my odorous drink now. How wonderful. Was it 5 nights in a row?
Bring in, I'll be like, oh.
What my father's paying you, you learn to cook. What?
You want to talk about what happened in this courtroom tonight?
Yeah.
Listen, you got someone else's batteries printed that attic, Paul Skull, and it helped me.
Thank you. Fine.
Thank you.
Can you close yourself off to people and deny yourself things that might bring you pleasure?
Not because it makes you better investigator. This is such a
Thanks.
For what happened around me? Thank you.
I guess it just occurred to me that it might be something that someone might do and not.
Mm.
lose merit in itself if you didn't. It would be penance.
links queue is still running way too fast. Never returning either.
One of the files that we've been looking through and it's great. No job.
I thought we both agreed that a little exercise would be a good addition to your sobriety regimen.
Future reference, when I say that I agree.
You know what else is great? The exercise. Just a leg warmer up there.
I agree with you. I mentioned that I was still living in London. New York Terrier and Bogey Man, obviously with London.
Yeah, you can still distance from the public mall. Have you seen the 6 cases then?
7 as of last night.
What?
I heard it on my police.
I think this might require more coffee.
10-year-old Mariana Castillo, trapped in her bedroom in Astoria, Queens, and the clutches of introduction to balloons that Beach Street was devised in all and don't syndicate. I do enjoy the look like being kind of
You know, the Spaniard haven't actually been assigned to the case.
yet. Child abductions and serial murders and psychiatric consultants and joint task forces, which in turn means that Gretchen can't call me until the police commission approves. And he hasn't got me until 8:30 a.m. By approximately 3 minutes. Or sooner. Close. Doesn't suit the story.
Girl's bedroom is in the back. Don't force the lock on her window on a 9:30 last night.
I'm just going down, bro.
All right. Okay. For those of you following along at home, yell at me if I don't answer the phone.
Is a consultant.
Daniel Peters, Kayla Jackson, Billy Crawford, victims 2, 3, and 5 of the balloon. The only ones whose bodies were found. Police documented what they knew were still dead. They left half of them. Billy for almost 2 days, quite a discrepancy. Last night I discovered a direct correlation between the quickness with which the killer dispatched his victims and the extent of their previous media exposure. I can show you a spreadsheet, but in sum, in all interviews, far seems to show.
Usually.
I don't understand. What does it matter? I mean, interviews with me. Blue Man feature.
I really am just delaying quite a bit right now because I have no idea what's going wrong with my code at the moment.
You get what you go back. It's simple. You do everything I say.
And I kind of want to see how long the loop is. Looks like it's a good minute or so. 2 minutes at least. All right. Here's the loop. after this short commercial break. If you call me, I'll answer the phone.
Excuse me?
Hopefully. I'm supposed to. Waiting for the plumber to call.
Then just put the price tag on the cap itself that saves stacking time. Tag bottom, you lie. Obviously we bought this at another time, presumably from the store in Atlanta, where we purchased the piece for second hand in the country. The bottle was already in your fridge, so it provided an effective cover as to why we really wanted the house. Tell us the
Oh
name
boy.
of this thing.
Almost made it through a full loop here.
There's no point in trying to deny it. The lemon place
After this short commercial break.
One old, one quite new, less than a year. Pattern repeats itself with two corkscrews, two cotton balls. The older items belong to you and your wife. Doubles were bought by you and moved into your own place in Long Island.
How?
I found a letter in one there for the long-term stay of hotel chairman Classic. I assume that you and your wife separated for a while and then reconciled. Which brings me to your caller ID. You took a 15-second call from the Long Island area code last night, right before you stepped out of the house. Presumably from the woman who precipitated your separation.
Yeah, I'm coding something, but it's not working right now, and I'm not sure why. So I'm just kind of delaying. Just procrastinating. Smoking a cigarette, drinking some coffee. I'm thinking.
Do not say anything.
But I swear, I really go into the car and just talk to her for a minute. I'd like to speak
If you look here,
to her. Not been to two good places. Probably not. But can you think of anyone else who was parked in the block
the
last
link
night?
queue
She was waiting for you
says
to
it's
be
processing.
facing your house, but she was facing
Or
your
it goes
house
to
when she
process,
saw
it never gets anything returned from processing. And for some reason it's sending off these queued jobs all at once, pretty much immediately. You can see where we're queuing the link scrape right here. And it says it's processing. It's not actually returning. I just have it set to return the string data right now. As another way of delaying, I double checked all my scrape payload stuff, and that's worked just fine in the browser. Let me add some more logging in here. Just to make sure things are getting to the scraping code. Okay, yeah, so logging that first scrape. That one does just fine.
It happened so fast.
Next scrape.
Brown.
Goes fine.
Brown.
What are we looking for?
Security camera, maybe with a photograph of my nose.
Hey, can you explain what you said at the station about, you talking to me, not the other way around?
found over the years that nothing clears up a difficult case so much as taking it from another person. I talk, they listen, and in talking, I make connections I may have otherwise missed. One-way street, not two.
Who did you speak to back in life?
Lots of people. Don't start, capitalizes,
Okay, so it's not actually
prostitutes.
getting sent out to the Phantom scraper.
You don't like a
Queuing the link scrape for
no internet.
this thing from Saudi Arabia.
No sleep, no food.
We'll make Sherlock a dull boy.
People who publish
Links queue says it's processing,
You know what, Watson? I take it all back.
but those options never get logged.
Companionship. Like white noise. Puts me in a state where I think and I observe better. For example,
What? This is your idea of a brown band, then you're even more sleep deprived than I thought.
better parking tickets. Been here for days. But there are small skid marks beneath each tyre indicating it was moved several inches.
Someone sideswiped it.
My man is in a speeding van driven by a
Get
Spanish
stories
kidnapper.
for trend.
Well, the paper
So
in the
let's
car
make sure
is supposed to be
Dark brown as per Miss Thomas's description.
queuing the link scrape, get stories for trend,
Brown now that was originally painted white and blue.
payload options.
White and blue as a matter of fact. Rebecca Bell.
Okay,
We're looking for a decommissioned NYPD van. Reasonably sold at auction, then painted brown.
trend URI
Break
is
down one car,
correct.
road struck this sedan. Pushes a bolo now and they find a balloon known before lunch.
I'm not sleeping, I'm just reviewing the details of the case in the morning.
So when you talk to people,
I need to be so sensitive. Listen, the service you're providing is quite valuable. The research phenomenon I did learn is knowledge of last time. And then some Angus. I realized that when people listen to that, they have to see
Just go ahead. Car 5, you still got the eye.
Hey, listen, Martin, getting anything on the thermal imaging?
Not here.
Okay, that looks right.
Yeah, that's not our guy. He would have been 6 grand for the thing, 6 for 50. Hey, Holmes, what are you doing? Holmes, sorry, it's just the box. Holmes, that birthmark on his neck. You're quite right. This is not the man that took Adam Kemper back in 2005. This is Adam Kemper.
Make sure the data is making it to that job properly.
Listen, go along the way. Don't take an hour to fight too long to get here outside.
Payload options. That looks right. So get stories for trend. That's it. I'm gonna feel rather silly.
Very real possibility that the young man is successful with several horrific crimes. Maybe not accomplish exactly what he needs to do. 10 minutes. That's all I ask. My movements. Very quick. You can probably tell from my accent. I'm not from the university police officer. No one else psychiatrist. Which makes me the only person they're going to talk to today who isn't going to lie to you.
Links queue is processing.
Take the bell from the others.
Hey, phantomjs has crashed.
Bad man. Inherently abused you. They want you to help work. You need to be prepared. Drive?
Okay, that's farther than we'd gotten before.
My father packed me off to boarding school when I was
So,
8 years
the error that I've been debugging for the past 30 or 40 minutes was I had payload spelled with a U instead of a Y right there.
and good luck. Over the course of the next year, Angus took his hand out on me in free and terrible way.
So, yeah. A tough one to spot.
No one was hurt. No, he had to be paying attention. He didn't think for anything that he would take him to pick you up, but he knew it would be wrong. After a particularly brutal lesson, it left me in a very bad way. People asked me who was responsible. Falling down the stairs. Funny, because we did do it.
Sometimes there have been some problems with phantomjs using the console. So I'm going to remove those and see if that's what was causing problems for me. It's not actually following this console true thing here, so maybe there's something going on when you load up Google search results. To remove this for the next run. Links queue. Ah, yes, data came back. So let's see what happens. See if we can get the stories back now. This is all JavaScript. need to figure out some way to make this wait to return stories until it's actually looped through all of them. Because it's returning just this empty array right here before it has a chance to loop through and push the URI that I want to get out of the element into that array. Each. See if jQuery promises can be applied to each. Promise done function. That might do it. Let's see. No. Maybe I don't need to do that. I might just be able to call done. Never worked with jQuery promises before, so we're about to see if that does it. And I'm not even using them now.
Head back to that room.
So it looks like that was not the way to do it. going to do something not very nice, but it should work.
He's 19 or something, but he was really some sort of partner to this monster. And isn't it possible that he wants to go back?
Victims of whatever we do so often.
That's the thing, it doesn't mean it's something else.
If I hesitate, because he's been traumatized, he hardly speaking, even to his own parents.
Just to make sure the stories doesn't get returned until it's gone through all of those. Maybe that'll work.
Can we go back to the files? Just see if there's any previous to write items.
Thank you for joining in for an hour of spaghetti coding over here. Hey, worth spending. Glad you stopped by. I'm using Linux, and I'm running Vim inside of tmux, the terminal multiplexer. So over here, this window is my terminal, and it's split into three subterminals where I have Vim running up here, my server running in another terminal down here, and then a terminal with my database client running right there. So pretty much just terminal and a browser. Programming in Node. I'm using io.js because I wanted to try out some of the ES6 features, and I've been quite pleased with how well it's working. I'm debugging this small payload script that is being injected into pages with phantomjs. So basically I'm running a headless browser that runs in the background. This is a screenshot from a little while ago. I'm just loading up Google Trends and getting the text right here and the link that it's doing. Just scraping Google Trends for the hottest news stories in all the countries that Google Trends does reports on. Just injecting jQuery into this page and running some simple selection stuff to pull out information. See, another type of page that I'm pulling up is the news search results. That's the kind that I'm doing right now. And so for Sling TV was an example I was working with. You can see I create a script element, set the script source to jQuery, append that script element to the head of the document, and then I can run jQuery. So my selection pulls out all these elements that are the links from not the headline top part of the page, but every other Google search result that comes up. Pulls out that text, and I'm just getting the URI from that. So to get the URI, I do a jQuery call to pull that list. And then on each of the members of that array, I say log the element's href attribute. And then we get the list of links right there. And I'm having trouble getting that back as an answer. It's supposed to return the list of stories. What if I do this? I like it a different kind of error, but it's returning null. You can see right there. Oh, and since we have new visitors, I'll go on and paste a link to the source code if you'd like to view it. Oh, so I'm getting a lot more back.
No, don't lie to me, Adam. Not again. You told me when we met, you injured your hand, tried to open the window.
Stories should not be null.
Samuel Abbott is not even in your hand. You examined pillows in the large room. Found nothing but short, dark hair. Your hair. On the pillows in the small room,
Change it up a bit more.
stringy and grey. You occupied the master bedroom, Carl's were master. Tricked me, Adam.
Still not getting it. Let's look at how I got it working with the latest trends. Date. Okay, so that worked there. Don't need that anymore.
If it's any consolation, I don't think I'm going to stay on the stage much longer.
turn back on this screenshotting.
What that kid did is disgusting. I hate the fact that he's out there with it, but you did make a difference. You saved Mariana and you told the police what kind of person Ellie can become.
I heard a psychopath to get out of jail free.
I can really get you. If you're trying to blow off steam, squats would be cheaper, easier on the floor too.
I can't let you get myself and put myself back to the
Morning, Adam. Just so you know, she's begging for her son's life. Glad, darling. Thanks for your time. You look kind of tired. Doesn't matter a lot, baby. Listen, before we leave town, I wanted to ask you about the fifth victim. Harrison Billy Truman. He got him on April 3rd, 2009. Right. Blonde boy, cried a lot.
I was able to get it to
Still, not the cleanest work. Police found his body on April
send
7th.
back just some weird data, so
Actually, let me be clear about that.
let's see what happens this time.
Mr. Abbott may be a very good feedback. Whoever had the idea, I think it was a good one. Because the police found
No one's called.
skin on the woman's fingernails.
I it would take a week to get
We're
the
trying to get
car.
Samuel Abbott's DNA this morning, and I guess that didn't match.
He said it wouldn't.
But this morning, probably wouldn't matter, so I have an immunity of this injury. It cannot be possible, or any crime is committed, but any consort will rise. Thing is, Samuel Abbott broke 3 vertebrae in his back on March 23rd while he was down in the mountain. So I couldn't let him exterminate them. That's what they were back. Surgery had him in hospital for 3 weeks. Bleeding was a traction the entire time. Difficult to abduct and murder a young boy when he's doing well, I'd imagine. Hospital bed, I'd say it was possible. Crime committed in consort Samuel Abbott. You think he even caught for him then? Wow. You get bored while I'm playing everything home. Actually, you know what? Spend time. I am. I called him right after the parents told me we were in the park. He wasn't trying to run. There is some stuff to know. I know. Fair fight. The body will murder. The Samuel beauty. I'll be out soon.
Okay, so we're not getting anything there. Huh.
You, me, Angus. Some combination of the 3. You already know I feel you.
Let's see if that exists.
Right now, I'm full of energy. I feel it, momentum. Let's see that. Now is the moment when a true detective digs into his old files to see everything within your life. We'll see.
That's kind of weird. Align div. Okay, what happens if I go with class equals G? Okay.
Fresh eyes. Watson, you know you and Holmes are stopping by.
Who's that here?
Everything okay?
Could we talk privately? I haven't heard from him in
That
over
works
3 hours.
nicely.
He's not responding to texts. He's not answering his phone.
All due respect, but you know your boss is a weirdo, right? He's probably out trying to find Jimmy Hoffa in some subway tunnel.
So we have an arrangement. We're not supposed to be apart for more than 2 hours, and he's never supposed to be unreachable.
You know you two are pretty close for assisting the boss, but how is that even possible? You both have to sleep, right?
I'm not his assistant, right? The only reason we are together all the time is because I live in his place.
Okay. Don't know why you guys couldn't have just told me that, but fine.
It's not like that. We're not together.
Okay, what is it, what?
I can't say. I'm sorry.
Well, Miss Watson, if you want me to help you, you're going to tell me what the story is, all right?
I'm so independent. I just get to covering Sherlock is my client. His father hired me to help him stay clean. The only reason I am telling you this is because I think he may have moved out. And you can help to find him.
reading someone else.
No, it's okay. She didn't know either. This is Erin from work. Have a seat. This is Joan, my oldest friend. It's okay. I've got water in 20 minutes. I know you two are strangers, but they look fantastic and single, so start with that. See you later. I think this is what you call an ampersand.
Well, the good news is I don't have to buy you a drink.
That's true.
Although I could go for a double vodka rocks right about now.
You only drink spirits before, 10 in the morning.
No, but go easy on me. I'm just an ambush.
No thoughts for Erin?
Sorry to snoot, but YTNDUASAP when you're texting the teachers?
Fully grown adult, actually. Done this in a while. I don't know where to start.
Me neither. CUS. I'm guessing that's see you soon. What is IMLTHO?
It means in my less than humble opinion.
Your abbreviations are becoming borderline indecipherable. I don't know why, because you are obviously capable of being articulate.
Language is evolving, Watson, becoming a more efficient version of itself. I love text shorthand. It allows you to convey content and tone without losing velocity. As a man, I see. Handsome white man.
This is the part where I ask you how you know that, right?
You put your hair up and you want to look your best. You think it's more flattering. You're wrong, of course. It's a draw. It's down when you left the coughing, now it's up. Ergo, you unexpectedly met a man you found attractive.
Okay, what am I doing here? What? You said it couldn't wait?
I'm just trying to stick to the terms of our agreement. You said we're not supposed to be apart for more than 2 hours, and I have a mysterious errand to run, and I have no idea how long it's going to take.
Come there.
He had been summoned to a meeting of the board of directors of Canon Eberson.
The investment firm. What do they want to see you about?
I had no idea. Hence my use of the word mysterious. Apparently Gregson recommended my services, and they won't tell me anything else until I've signed a confidentiality agreement.
Is that what you're aware?
What's wrong with it?
I'm pretty sure you slept in that t-shirt last night.
Right, time for more coffee.
Formal in the way you dress.
Those are costumes. I loathe bankers. They rigged the roulette wheel of commerce, very nearly destroyed the world economy, and they still think if they wear suits they'll be treated like respectable folk instead of the crooks that they are.
My name's Jim Fouts. I'm Chief Investment Officer. Daniel Cho, our Chief Financial Officer, another accounts board member.
Yeah, you're all chief of something. What do you want?
This is our COO, Peter Talbot. Reporter, he fields a conference call with our institutional investors. These people control huge pension funds. As far as they're concerned, Peter's the voice of the company. This quarter's call was supposed to happen yesterday. We had to reschedule. Peter didn't show up. Do you have any idea where he is?
And if you don't get this call back on the books soon, people will start to whisper.
And these people whisper, Mr. Holmes, millions of dollars disappeared. The gentleman we spoke to, Captain Gregson, he said that the NYPD couldn't get involved until Peter had been missing for 2 days. He also said that you were the finest investigator he'd ever known. To hire you. So,
Bodyguard. Luckily for you, Mr. Fouts, I have a hole in my schedule. My usual private consulting rates will apply, of course, multiplied by a factor of 12, shall we say. You're wondering if I'm worth it. I could provide a demonstration, if you'd like. I'm fairly sure, for example, that these two are sleeping with each other. You really should be more careful of your body language. And you, for some reason, have recently used a solvent to remove fingernail polish from your hands.
12 times your usual rate will be just fine.
I will need access to Peter Talbot's office, his computer.
Jerry will be happy to take you down there right now.
Cute couple. Everyone here calls Peter and Melissa Taylor and Burton, you know, after the movie stars.
Fascinating.
I'll be outside if you need me.
I don't think I've ever seen you so happy back in college. Mastering the masters in the universe.
Bit of a letdown, actually. I think I could have got 20 times more than you.
What is your name?
I don't have one. Money to make one up before I leave.
Typical. Every stuffed shirt he wants to pass for Erudite has shelves full of unreal books, none of the spines on them have ever been cracked. Except this one. Apparently Mr. Talbot consults all the time. I've never been a fan of John Maynard Keynes, but this I could sink my teeth into.
I don't understand. What is that?
It's a menu. Each of these girls is available for a price. See the ring symbol at the bottom? More rings, more expensive prostitute.
So you speak from experience?
This is a deduction. Well, I am on an expense account.
Almost all these pages are turned down.
The more pricey girls were his favourites. You can't just tell the IRS to spend 6 figures a year on slappers. No, you need to hide the expense. So, let's see, calendar, contacts. Yeah. You see? Talbot has contact addresses for 2 separate accountants. This one is for a rep for DDB, that's a big 5 firm, nothing untoward there, probably handled family books. This one is an independent accountant by the name of Martin Rydell, handled something Peter calls his executive private account. Excuse me, secretary? What did in fact say her name was?
He didn't. It's Donna.
Well, before we leave, Donna, would you mind calling us in a reservation for 3 at Villa Packard?
We're not dressed for Villa Park.
Not just for Canon Ebersol either. I invite Parson and Rydell for lunch. It'll help if I drop the name of one of the most expensive restaurants in the city.
So you loathe Canon Ebersol and everything they stand for, but you love to spend their money. You don't see any inconsistency there?
I'm redistributing as many of their assets as I can. If I'm going to get in bed with croupiers of a rigged game, I'm going to be damn sure their wallets are lighter than mine. So,
And that is for,
it's the most expensive bottle they've got.
I don't care if it comes in a box or a drink.
It's not for me. You see that couple over there? I observed them running in the bathroom. The man's suit is frayed from dry cleaning. I'd wager it's the only one he's got. Therefore, he's safe to come here for a special occasion. Also, he keeps touching the inside pocket of his suit coat, like he's checking to see if something valuable is still there. He's about to propose, and I'm going to send that wine over as congratulations. Or condolences.
Okay, yeah.
It's lovely. Thank you. Mr. Holmes? Mr. Rydell. Why don't you sit down? Confession. I told a couple of white lies on the phone. I don't actually work at Canon Ebersol, and I have no intention of opening a private executive account with you. What I would like is to discuss the work you did concealing Peter Talbot's predilection for expensive hookers. I'm sorry, I think maybe this is a mistake. Is it strictly legal, the private executive accounting business? I bet not. Yet you seem very eager to take this meeting with me, so I'm quite sure that Peter Talbot's not the only rich man to avail himself of your services. But by all means, leave. I'm sure there's any number of magazines would love to publish a story about the man who hides the dirty secrets of Wall Street. The press is so base these days. Hello, is this the Post?
Stuff is getting
I work with Peter.
in a table.
I set up a shell corporation. We steal a little bit of his paycheck and wipe it in a slush fund. He can do whatever he wants. If
See
he
if I
uses
can
this slush fund to binge on
copy
his
that out
favorite bad habit. Where do you suppose
a
I'm
little
not
more
from?
easily.
I run an apartment in Tribeca near the name of the Dummy Club. It's lovely, isn't it? This apartment will need the address. The man you met this morning, his name's Aaron, yes? He sent a text while you were in the bathroom at lunch, asked if you wanted to have dinner tonight.
Didn't we already have this conversation? You don't touch my stuff.
You said yes, by the way.
And you definitely don't accept dates on my behalf.
Why not? You're both equally aware that you're attracted to this man.
No, we are both not equally aware of my feelings.
Yeah, it's just Detective Donovich of the NYPD. We got a warrant to look inside a farm and 2G.
We don't have a warrant.
I was never asked to see it.
This is the apartment.
Mr. Talbot, your bosses would like a word.
So in Phantom, I'm getting back a table, and that's causing my jQuery parsing to not work so well.
I'm fine. I have to be on my communication. Talking about my feelings is not going to get solved.
Let's go to localhost.
Over. See that salad sitting there? Captain, you're classifying this as an accidental overdose, yeah?
Well, we'll wait on the MD to make the final determination, but we're looking at the same criteria.
Indeed. I don't
only
think
getting
it's
the
waiting on
top
examiner to get
there.
started. I think there's a good chance Peter Talbot was murdered. Murdered. The guy holding the needle he used to shoot himself up. He's holding the needle that someone used to shoot him up. Look at his arm. There's no track marks on it. Doesn't need anything. Junkie can find a vein anywhere. Look around you. Does this look like the typical apartment of a hardcore heroin user?
I had something that was closer to right earlier. Let's pull that up.
It's perfectly arranged. Does that look like a typical fridge of a heroin addict?
No. No, typical one.
Heroin users are looking for oblivion. They want the drug to dull their senses. That's why when they overdose, usually you find them in squalid apartments or alleyways. They don't often keep apartments like this, and it's rare-ish that they hold jobs as a COO of $1 billion corporation.
So, you're saying someone gave Peter Talbot that shot? How? There's no sign of a struggle here. You can't walk up to someone and stick a syringe in their arm.
No, you would need them to be unconscious first.
Okay, granted I've never been hit with a salad container, but I'm pretty sure it would knock you out.
The killer would need Peter to be insensate before delivering the fatal shot. But a drug other than heroin would surely show up on touch screens. So what's the most efficient solution? If Peter Talbot was murdered, I'd imagine the first dose of heroin came from here. After he passed out, killer dragged him to the chair when he delivered the fatal shot.
You think someone dosed his salad dressing?
I think it's worth exploring. It's easy enough to find out if I'm right. We just test the salad for the presence of heroin.
I'll hold my breath on that. Meantime, I gotta notify Talbot's wife of all this.
I'm coming. He keeps a special apartment for prostitutes. If he was murdered, surely his wife had motive.
You can't watch. She just lost her husband. The last thing she needs to deal with right now is you.
Oh my God. Peter said he was done with the girls. Just tell me it was really for kids. And you're saying he was using it in the phone?
Miss Talbot, sorry to interrupt. Would you mind telling us where you were 2 nights ago, between the hours of 6 and midnight?
What?
Medical examiner estimates that's when your husband died. I was wondering where you were.
No.
You think I'd hurt my husband?
No. Everything we've seen so far says accidental death.
Even so,
Okay,
your whereabouts.
so I had it right to begin with there.
I volunteered at Habitat for Humanity. I was at a silent auction. There must have been 200 people who saw me there.
And I'm at least getting the links back now, so I've reached a stopping point.
I told you. Can't say he was surprised. He's been overwhelmed ever since they named him CEO. He said he thought the last guy dropped dead just
Okay.
out of going into work.
Sorry. Did you just say the previous chief operating officer?
See,
of
I'm
Kennedy
getting too many log
Consulting
messages.
He was allergic to peanuts. He died when some restaurant
So-
put raw oil in his lunch.
How long ago was that?
Last October. Why? What does this have to do with Peter? Wasn't it all?
Thank you very much for coming in. And again, we're very, very sorry for you.
Copy out that screenshot again.
How many of us have lost 2 CEOs in a year? That seems like
Just
a
getting
major
this
shock.
ready to commit now.
Well, no. 谢谢。下次我机会再唱你的菜。
This was happening.
Not as well as I like.
Not as well as my mother would like.
Get stories for trends.
Head in the wall. Killed Peter Talbot.
I think that one's in good shape.
Any particular reason?
What do I have going on here? Just updated the scrape function. Don't really need the options there.
Terrible allergies.
Yes, noted earlier.
He was fanatical about Yet every single takeout order from the same Chinese restaurant.
Let's make sure that's still working.
Chef, who never to have peanut oil and was preparing his own rice's meals.
Well, it only takes one slip up.
Chef swears he didn't say
Don't need that.
that meal personally.
That's not working anymore.
Peanut oil in Gary Morris's food after it left his kitchen.
Don't need that.
Death by peanut oil that would be a Chloe Atlantis.
If Peter Talbot was murdered, the way is consistent. The link to the target and the way that the world thinks is an accident. Counts.
Earlier when I asked you about being on heroin again, you wanted to say something.
Forgotten what it smells like.
Okay, so that's still working.
Is it heroin
Lib, payloads, get stories for trends.
Actually,
And scraper index. Well, let's look at links queue first.
besides, if I wanted drugs, I could always just try that one out the way. Go. Once you have it, you speak to it.
Okay, that's the log that we want. Okay. So git add lib scraper index. And let's look at the scraper index.
That's alright, after all the bubbles inside there was whatever.
You're missing my point. Can't you see that's my stealthy way of asking you out on
Whoa.
Yeah. So smooth you didn't even know what it was. Seriously though, I had fun. Most of my dates these days spent talking about ex-husbands. You go there.
No, it's easier than married. What about you?
Chariot? So, this is fun.
Get stories for trend.
Thanks.
Okay, we're gonna remove this console log. And start.
Who are they?
Employees of Canon Ebersol have died over the last 10 years.
It is a big company. I've already noticed some people along the way.
And some of these, no doubt, are random. There could be a pattern hidden in there. How was your date?
Good. Fun. Okay, we go back to you. It was the end of the night, and we were talking about whether or not he'd been married, and then he said he hadn't, and this isn't something that we've used
Okay.
before. I started working with you guys. It's very easy to use.
There we go. We've got those two things running. Let's see.
Fine. Next step is confirmation. It's easy enough to find out if he was married. What was his last
I
name?
am seeing some duplication just right off the bat, so I'm gonna flush the database and start it over. That was one of the main goals for all of this, was to not have any duplication in scraping trends. Though I'm very happy to have trend scraping working, or getting the links for the trends working. I do want that to
How could Emily set me up with a married guy?
Well, look at it this way. For instance,
not show, not scrape trends twice, at least starting from a clean database.
That's the NYPD lab, and they agreed to rush the tests of Peter Talbot's salad, and there were trace amounts of heroin in
Okay,
it.
we're processing the links for kick-ass.
Going to Canon Ebersol tomorrow. Going to call another meeting at work and get back.
What was our log message if we ran into something that was going twice? Blank is already queued for link scrape.
Mr. Tyron was a volunteer with Wilderness Search and Rescue. He always followed his travel plans with the ranger office whenever he went camping.
He visit people in schools. What are we doing?
Maria Filippello. She ran your equities division in Dallas.
She suffocated in 2005 when the natural gas line running into her house ruptured. Never been another problem with that brand of piping before or since. Jason Palmer, he worked in the New York office, got a $5 million bonus in 2009, then drowned while swimming in a lake in his home in the Catskills. The odd thing is, when Jason Palmer was in college, he was a beach lifeguard at Martha's Vineyard.
Respectfully, Mr. Holmes, you found Peter, you OD'd, we're done.
Peter Talbot was murdered. The police are investigating now. I believe the man who killed him also killed your previous COO, Gary Norris, and these 3 unfortunate souls, possibly 1 or 2 others as well. Now, I can't find a plausible motive for anyone outside the company to have committed these murders. These are not crimes of passion, they're too well concealed for that. They're crimes of opportunity. I think we may have a sociopath in the midst. A particularly cunning, methodical killer. If I'm right, they wait, they analyse, and when the time is right to give themselves a leg up, they pounce.
You're saying someone is killing their way up the ladder? That sounds insane to me.
I'd love to be wrong. But someone did dose Peter Talbot's salad with heroin. As for the rest, let me do my work. I'll need access to your records. If this person's here, I'll find him.
We control billions of dollars worth of assets, Mr. Holmes. We can't give you access to these files. They're confidential.
I don't need to order them, I just need to do some simple maths. There can't be that many people who worked in Denver in 2003, Dallas in 2005, New York since 2009. If I can find this person quickly, I can wrap this up with the minimum of scandal.
Alright, enough. This is not necessary.
You're listening to me. There may be a murderer at Cannon Ebersol.
There's not a killer. You know how I know that? Because the only person with the career path that you're describing is me. You say that I murdered like 5 people?
Well, this is a bit awkward, but I'd say that you're a damn good suspect.
Also, we need to talk.
Doing. Eggs? Sure, find my fault.
I'm not hungry. I came here to end this.
Most of it was simple enough, just confess. Saves both a great deal of time and trouble.
Do you have any idea what you did to me? Do you know what it takes just to survive a place like Cannon Ebersol?
I think avoiding you would be a good start.
I never killed anyone. Parochial school, Mr. Holmes. You've broken every commandment they ever taught me. Your father Ray probably isn't very proud of you. Your father Ray was in a country house. Inches away from the coming state, which everybody knows is where they groom you for the future. You accuse them of murder. And that place isn't talking. Gossip's poison in that place. It isn't completely innocent. I'm never gonna get that job.
Sorry, be done. Every time you say innocent, that's tune out.
My case is just going to prove it. Miles Durham, first of the so-called murders, he disappeared during camp. August 2003, right? Right? August 7th? Supposed to return August 9th. What is this? Medical records, mine. I had elective surgery, August 6th, 2000. Complications. Wasn't released until August 12th.
Liposuction. Retigo plastic.
Not now.
Facelift.
See many jolly men on the cover of Barron's, Mr. Holmes? My point is, I couldn't have murdered Miles Durham. I'll tell you something else. Dan Cho, pissant. No, he didn't work for Cannon Ebersol in 2003. He had a summer internship with us while he was in business at the Denver office. He was fired. We hired him in 2005, sent him to Dallas. He was a sociopath working for us. Let me let you know about the secret, Mr. Holmes. We're all sociopaths.
Hey, I'm trying to read up there.
This doesn't make any sense. Yes, Danjo, intern in Denver during the summer of 2002. He didn't benefit from this. Company didn't even hire him until 2 years later.
First of all, you're not even sure Miles Durham's disappearance was from us. Let's say it was. Maybe this guy Dan Cho killed him to get a charge out of it. The murder was the bank.
People who enjoy killing like to share their enthusiasm and purpose. They want everyone to know there's a murderer out there. And anyway, even after he was hired, he didn't benefit from the deaths nearly as much as Jim Phelps.
But Jim Phelps. Jim didn't do the first one.
Would appear not. Marrying man?
He just won't quit. He says he is married, but he wants to meet me to explain himself. Coffee with a creep? No thanks.
If nothing else, it would be an interesting experiment introduction for you. Spot the lie. So, I need time to think, which means it's not going to get any quieter around here. Come now. Can I get you something?
How did you find out about that?
Bob, I did like it. I did. But it's not easy. I volunteer for a place called Shoreline Community Services. It's a legal aid for people. Work with people who are seeking political asylum. A while back, I helped out an old